So to use the Securely Pass as a staff member is pretty simple. Really all you're going to need is you're going to need a link to their website. You can access it on our staff page, or you can simply go to pass.securely, no second to E here, .com. It'll ask you to sign in. You're going to sign in with your Google account. One thing to point out while I'm logging in is that you can only be signed in to one device or another at the same time. So you cannot be signed into both your laptop and your iPad at once. You have to pick one or the other, but the process is pretty much the same. So once I'm logged in here, this is access to my dashboard. It's just a simple spot to see any passes that have been requested. Now on the student side, they are going to open the Securely Pass app on their device, and it's going to ask them to choose where they need to go. So here they're going to choose the teacher that they're leaving from. In this case, it's probably you. And then they're going to choose the destination of where they're going to go. Now, there's two different types of passes. You can have a destination that is a simple location, like a one-time use where they would go to do it and then come right back. This would be things like drinking fountains, restrooms, stuff like that. So let's say I need to go to the water fountain. I can search for the word water, and it'll show you all the water fountains that exist. Let's say this is the water fountain they want, and then they click submit. Now, once the student does that, it's going to show up right here in my dashboard. It shows me that a student has requested approval. And again, I see this show up here. All I have to do is either approve or cancel to give this student permission. Now, I can also see which student it is, and if there is a comment that shows up here, or I can see exactly what comment the student has added. For a water fountain or restroom, it's pretty obvious what those are going to be used for, so a comment isn't required, but we'll talk more about that in a second. Now, student's name underneath has a list of passes that shows how many passes this student has used today. And so if I click on it, I can see exactly how many seconds the student has been out of the classroom today, and I can see exactly when this student used their other passes from today. Now, if I wanted to give this student permission, all I have to do is click approve. Once I approve that pass, then the student's pass is going to turn green on their app, and a timer will start. So now they can go use the restroom, get a drink, do whatever it is you wish, and they can come straight back. It's important to note that they do not need to bring their device with them. This is just something they're doing to start this device. And then when they return back in the classroom, you will simply hit the end keep button to end that pass. So once I do that, it ends that pass. It disappears out of my dashboard. But if I needed to go back, I can look at the active or ended passes and see exactly which ones were granted and how long they were out of the classroom. So that's the first type of pass. The second type of pass you're going to see from students is you're going to have students who are going to create a pass from one place to another. So let's say, for example, I have a student who was in ISS, and that student needs to go visit a teacher. Well, if they create a pass from one teacher to another, maybe they need to go get a handout, maybe they need to take a makeup test, whatever it is, they can create a teacher-to-teacher pass. This one requires them to add a reason, and then when they submit that, that is also going to show up here under my approval list, but you'll see that there is an option now that says the comment on what it is, the reason that they had to enter for that pass. Now, if I approve this pass, then this pass will be approved, and that teacher or that student will then go to that other teacher's room. So with this type of pass, it's what they call a round trip pass. So which means they are going to go from one teacher to the other. Once that person has arrived in this other teacher's room, that teacher can simply click arrived. It will mark that they've arrived. Now they can do whatever they were there to do. It could be a makeup test. It'll be whatever it is. And then whenever they are ready to leave to head back to the original classroom, part of that round trip, you will simply hit returning, and then this will send them back to that original classroom as they're going through it. Now, once they receive or once they make it back to that original classroom, then that teacher will then click end to end that pass. So you could potentially just create 2 separate passes, one from your room to the next, and then that teacher could create a pass from their room back to you. But if it's a teacher-to-teacher pass, you have the ability to do a round trip where you just simply mark that they've arrived and then mark again whenever they are on their way back. And then again, that teacher marks them as available or finished. And once it's been ended, it then shows up and it'll show you, again, total time they were out of the room, and they'll see exactly when they left, when they arrived, and so on.